Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 18th July 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. You might be knowing it is a highly expensive training course, but we are providing complete free training and all the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access the lessons, click on the tab posts, then you get access to this post. And this post is having a YouTube playlist link that is having all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are in the supply demand zone price action course. Now you have all the training lessons. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions. I provided the training instructions at our Telegram channel. You can find the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Once you go to the Telegram channel, in the old messages or in the pinned messages, you can find all the training instructions. And if you learn the course according to those training instructions, you will become a very good independent trader in the coming days. Please make use of this opportunity. Now I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software's supply demand zone top-down analysis strategy builder. First, I am going to generate finding the stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand and supply zones so that we can identify high liquidity zones, and you can apply the high liquidity zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, starting with daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 12 stocks. I'm giving you very few seconds time to watch the report, so I request you pause the video, study the report, and then proceed to the next reports. Those who don't understand the structure of this report, I request you complete the training lesson 21.1 video. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, let us identify high liquidity zones from this daily demand zone list. AU Bank is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We got only one daily high liquidity demand zone from this list. I'm going back. For daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone, we got 7 stocks. Let us identify daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Cummins is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We got one daily high liquidity supply zone from this list. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. ABFRL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Coforge is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. IBF First Bank having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We identified 3 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next. For 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone from this list. Astral is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Bajaj Finance is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. IndusInd Bank is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. SBI Life is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. So total 4 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones identified from this list. Okay, this is about the stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand and supply zones, and also identified high liquidity zones. Next, I will generate Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Starting with Nifty, generating monthly supply demand zone chain. Okay, this is Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain report. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF and one more time frame higher is HTF. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. And apply the same rules for all the supply demand zone chain reports. Okay, next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price is serial number 29. So I am putting it in the middle of the page. Okay. So this is about a Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Nifty Bank is nothing but Bank Nifty, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Now I will generate a bullish, bearish and sideways trade setups for different income trades. First, sideways trade setup, long trade setup. Sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily. Entry zone demand zone. In bullish, bearish, sideways trade setup parameter at daily, I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 11 for sideways. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. All entry time frame zones are daily demand zones for monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup. Some of these zones already gave trades. Probably the previous reports might have helped you in getting trades in these zones. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. Daily supply zone, and here sideways short. Let's filter. We got one stock. Entry time frame is a daily supply zone. Next, bullish trade setup, daily demand zone, here bullish, and minimum order enhancer score 12. We got 17 stocks. First 16 stocks in the list, including your NIFTY Bank and NIFTY Midcap Select, both are listed in F&O. And all entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. Scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks we got. Okay, out of these 17, there could be some high probability trade setup supported daily demand zones might be available. How to identify them? For that, we are using different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies you learned in lesson 27. Okay, first I am applying the filter on these 17 stocks based on daily and weekly demand zone confluence. That is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. Out of 17, we got 14 stocks. In all these 14 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. And also weekly trend, that is ITF trend is weekly, up in all the stocks. So we can further filter this list by setting weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Let's go back in the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, because daily is overlapped with weekly. So I am setting a weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. By setting this filter, we got 9 stocks. That way, these 9 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items should be supported. Otherwise, there are higher chances zones might be violated. Okay. Next, let us further filter this list based on LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. After that, HTF EMA confluence. I am removing ITF EMA confluence filter. Demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one is already enabled, daily and weekly. Next, daily and monthly demand zone confluence, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with the weekly demand zone, both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up in 3 stocks except third one. So in the uptrend 3 stocks, let us further filter based on the monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, because sideways EMA confluence does not give any advantage. So in the EMA confluence, this time at monthly time frame, I am selecting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA. At the same time, trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It should be only uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. So out of those 3 uptrend stocks, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20, checklist items are satisfied. That is very important. So this is about a bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily, entry zone supply zone. Bullish or bearish at daily, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also daily supply zones should not be pierced. Monthly income trade I am not eliminating the pierced zones. Only weekly and below time frames only I am eliminating, because daily pierced zones you can use pierced zone strategies explained in lesson 28. So we got only two stocks. These two daily supply zones, and both these zones are high probability trade setup supported zones because of these same stocks we are getting for last 3 or 4 days. We already verified previously these two daily supply zones are high probability because these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly supply zone and weekly trend down, and also weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and also having a monthly supply zone confluence is also there, but monthly EMA we are not verifying because of sideways trend. So that's why already our software earlier reported both those zones. I'm not filtering them. Let's directly move on to the next income trade. Just a minute, please. Okay, next weekly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone at 75 minutes, sideways long, zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhanced score 11 for sideways, and this time we don't want pierced zones for 75 minutes demand zone. So I'm adding third filter, that is pierced count. This is the parameter. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. So I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Now all the filters are applied on the 75 minutes demand zone. We got two stocks, that is the sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Next, sideways short trade setup for a weekly income trade, 75 minute supply zone and also sideways short. Let's filter. We got one stock, 75 minute supply zone, entry time frame. Next, bullish trade setup for a weekly income trade, 75 minutes demand zone, here bullish, and also minimum odd enhanced score 12. We got 16 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zone in all these stocks. Out of these 16, 75 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup supported zones might be available. Let us filter them based on zone confluence and EMA confluence filters that I already explained for the monthly income trade reports. So quickly I will generate the reports. So first filter, 75 on daily demand zone confluence, applying on the 16 stocks. We got 11 stocks. In all these stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with daily demand zone and daily trend is uptrend. So we can further filter with daily EMA confluence. Daily demand zone with daily EMA because daily trend is uptrend. We got 9 stocks. So these 9 daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are supported, otherwise zones might be violated. But these 9 could be high probability trade setup supported zones, 75 minutes demand zones. Next we will look into 75 minutes daily and weekly demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. First one is already enabled. Next 75 and weekly, daily and weekly. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with daily demand zone, both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And also weekly trend is up in both the stocks. Let us further filter these 2 stocks with weekly EMA confluence. the EMA Confluence at weekly time frame. I'm checking weekly demand zone with weekly EMA Confluence. Both are filtered. That means both these 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances zones might be violated. So this is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. And here at 75 minutes, I'm selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum odd and enhanced score 12. And also 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 3 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. Let us verify out of these 3 any high probability trade setup supported zones are available. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, that is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. All 3 are filtered. That means in all the 3 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones overlapped with the daily supply zone. And also daily trend is down in all the 3 stocks, ITF trend. So we can further filter with the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Two are filtered. So these 2 75 minute supply zones might be having better high probability to get success. Next we will look into daily, weekly and 75 minutes daily and weekly supply zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one is already enabled. Next 75 and weekly, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. This 75 minute supply zone overlapped with the daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is a downtrend. Let's verify this weekly supply, this 75 minute supply zone having, this weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. Weekly supply zone with weekly EMA. So it is filtered. That means this overlapped 75 minute supply zone inside weekly is having more high probability to get success. So it's a high probability trade setup supported stock. Provide less than 20 checklist item should satisfy. So this is about a bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next we will look into daily income trade reports. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone. Bullish, bearish, sideways at 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhanced score 11. And 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0 and maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. These 3 are supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. This stock is already listed previous reports. See, already tested twice this one. Next, sideways short trade setup, 15 minute supply zone and also sideways short. We got 2 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. Next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade, 15 minutes demand zone. Here bullish and minimum odd and enhanced score 12. We got 14 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones in all these stocks. Bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Out of these 14, let us identify high probability trade setup supported zones based on the zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies you learned in lesson 27. First filter is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. That is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. So we got all 14 stocks. That means in all the 14, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. After the zone confluence, we got the complete list. And 75 minutes trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter with EMA confluence and 75 minutes time frame by setting 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. So we got 5 stocks. So these 5 demand zones, 15 minutes demand zones, might be having more high probability to get success. If any of these stocks listed in the previous reports, you might have already got trades from these, see, several trades we already got. 12 times it is tested here, 28 times it is tested here. This is already tested 4 times. Good. Next, let us look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 15 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 6 stocks. In all the 6 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. But daily trend is up in only 3 stocks. Let's verify. In these 3 stocks, any daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Daily demand zone with daily EMA, but the trend should not be sideways. So, in the trend at daily time frame, I don't want sideways, only uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. All the 3 stocks having uptrend are filtered. This is already tested twice, this is tested 7 times. That means previously, if our report generated these reports in the previous earlier reports, you might have already got some trades. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 8 stocks. All these 8 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zones in all the stocks. So total 8 stocks we got. Out of these 8, how many are having more high probability trade setup supported zones? Let us apply the strategies, zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies you learned in lesson 27. Okay, first filter is LTF, ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. After applying, we got out of 8, 7 stocks we got. In all the 7 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with, these 15 minute supply zones are overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minutes trend, ITF trend is down in all the stocks. We can further filter based on EMA confluence. At 75 minutes time frame, by checking 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 2 stocks. That way these 2 15-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success. If it is listed in our earlier reports, you might have already got a trade here. Okay, next we will look into, these are the high probability trade setup supported zones. Provide less than 20 checklist items should satisfy. Otherwise, zones might be violated. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. First three filters we have to set. First one is already enabled. 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the three filters enabled, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone, both together overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in only 2 stocks. Let's verify these 2 stocks, any daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. And trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Both these stocks are filtered. That means these 2 75-minute supply zone might be having better high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, we will generate hourly income trade reports. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish, bearish, sideways. At 5 minutes I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhance score 11 for sideways, and also 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. We got 2 stocks, sideways long trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. Okay, next sideways short trade setup for hourly income trade, 5 minutes supply zone, and also here sideways short. We got 3 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes supply zone. I think Nifty 50 we got yesterday. It gave a trade. Maybe today you might have got a trade. Okay, next we will look into bullish trade setup, 5 minutes demand zone, bullish, minimum odd enhance score 12. Let's filter. We got 9 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes. Sorry, demand zones, not supply zones, demand zones. Out of these 9, let us check any high probability trade setup supported zones are available. First filter 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. We got 7 stocks. And 15 minutes trend, ITF trend is up. Let us further filter with EMA confluence at 15 minutes by checking 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 1 stock. This demand zone might be having better probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. Remove EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes. 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. We got 2 stocks. In both these stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both are again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. 75 minutes trend is sideways, so I am not checking EMA confluence. Next, I will let us look into bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, supply zone. Here I am selecting bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhances score 12, and 5 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. We got 13 stocks. Let us verify out of these 13 how many are having better high probability to get success. All these entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. Out of 13, let us verify 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone Confluence supported stocks. Out of 13, we got 7 stocks. In all these 7, 5 minute supply zones overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. And 15 minutes trend is downtrend. Let's further filter with EMA Confluence at 15 minutes time frame. Checking 15 minute supply zone with daily EMA. One stock is filtered. That way this 15 minute supply zone might be having better high probability to get success. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone Confluence supported stocks. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone Confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one already enabled. Next 5 minutes and 75 minutes. 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, you got 4 stocks. In all these 4 stocks, 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. Both together overlapped with 75 minutes. And 75 minutes trend is down in only one stock. Let's check if the 75 minute supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. At the same time, trend on the 75 minutes should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So that one stock is filtered. Maybe it is having better high probability to get success compared to the others, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. So this is about bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. So we have generated all the income trade reports. Next I am going to generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames except daily and 75 minutes because they are already generated in the beginning of the video report. Okay, starting with the yearly. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got one stock. Next, price closed inside yearly supply zone, no stocks. Half yearly time frame, stocks near half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, no stocks. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 4 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly, stocks near quarterly demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near quarterly supply zone, no stocks. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 13 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 8 stocks. Okay, next for quarterly time frame, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 17 stocks. First is 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks we got. Let's further filter with the quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the quarterly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So we got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone, we got 4 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone, we got 20 stocks. Let's further filter by setting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Trend on the monthly should not be sideways, can be up or down. We got 9 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 41 stocks. We can further filter this list based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. Trend on the monthly should not be sideways, can be up or down. We got 13 stocks. So this is about monthly time frame. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near to the weekly demand zone, we got 13 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list, total 16 stocks we got. Scrolling the list down, so total 16 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 36 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Weekly demand zone with weekly EMA at the same time. Trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So first 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 21 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 62 stocks are filtered. Let us further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. Weekly supply zone having weekly EMA. At the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 19 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near to the 125 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Okay, next, stocks near to the 125 minutes supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 17 stocks are filtered. Stocks near to the 125 minutes supply zone. Next time frame 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 25 minutes supply zone. We got 10 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 15 minutes supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 14 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 4 stocks. So we have completed the generation of finding the stocks near demand and supply zones. And in the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. This is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.